have been that impressed.
I got order. I just remind members that running commentaries are out of order, and if people want to make a speech, they're entitled to do so. I refer them to the Speaker's Ruling 60/5. I recognise the Honourable Trevor Mallard.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and so do I when I shave. Mr. Speaker, I think we might be at a historical moment in the Parliament at the moment, and before I get into the detail of the bill, I say that people don't get two maiden speeches, but, sir, they do sometimes get two valedictories, and it may be that tonight we have seen the second valedictory for the Honourable John Banks. Mr. Speaker, I want to refer to the comment he made about the young backbenchers from the National Party and their contribution. Well, I want to say Tohanare, Paul Hutchison, who, although he doesn't look it, is older than I am, and John Hayes are the young backbenchers to whom John Banks is referring, who have made contributions today. And I just say to John Hayes, I hope that he gets John Banks' job. I think there will be some justice in that. He's seen as a fair person. He's seen as a person who understands the issues, who made a contribution on this legislation, which understood it much better than the Minister did. I do want to ask the Minister, what is the effect of this bill in the trade in cabbages? What is the effect on the trade in cabbages and their transit on rivers? What is the effect of this bill on the import of cabbages? And is there unfair competition with cabbages that are transported down the river on boats? Cabbage boats. Cabbage boats. Well, I want to ask the Minister specifically about the amendments that he's proposing to clause 18.1 on the supplementary order paper, where he wants to omit one or more and substitute one or both. And I want to ask him what he is referring to when he's substituting both for one, or one for both, or two for one. Is he talking about cheques? Is he talking about products? Is it two lots of 25 million? Or what is it?
We're talking about
it is about checks and balances. There is no doubt this is about checks and balances. How do you spell checks in this particular case? Is it got a Q or a C in the middle of it? Is there a K in it or a Q in this cheque? And which bank balance? Which balance is affected?
Point of order. The Honourable John Banks.
The member whose name fails me, who's just taken a seat, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, he needs to understand standing orders, because standing orders are quite tight around the committee stages of this bill. He should be talking to part one in a perfect world. Going on to the SOPs and anything is probably okay, but it's got to be relevant to the provisions of the bill in this committee stage as it has come out of the select committee. I put it to you under standing orders.
Can I just ask members to reflect and deal with the detail of part one? That's where we're coming from, and I know members can be very clever in the way in which they do that, but I also need to remind members that we need to be within the standing orders and the Speaker's rulings. I call the Honourable... point of order, the Honourable Member Chris Hipkins.
Mr. Chairman, I just want to clarify for you, lest the point of order raised by the Minister cause any confusion, that a member is entitled to debate an SOP that amends Part 1 during the debate on Part 1.
He is.
It's the last time this member was in charge of the bill, when the SOPs used to be dealt with at the end rather than as part of the process. I think that changed about 20 years ago.
I understand that in fact is correct.
Mr. Chairman.
Order. Your own member is speaking. Give him a fair go.
Thank you for the help. Mr. Chairman, I want to refer you to Clause 5 of the bill. This is the bill which says that Act binds the Crown. And I think, sir, that there couldn't be a truer thing said at the current time than Act is binding the Crown. In fact, the head of government, I think, is totally tied up by Act at the moment, sir. He is bound up in a way, almost in a way that he's been dominated. He's been dominated by Act.
Point of order. The member is behaving like a buffoon.
Order. Member be seated now. Can I just say to members, and points of order are to be terse, to the point. It's not an opportunity to have a go at another member. That's right. That in itself is out of order. And I would just caution the members about that. I call the Honourable Trevor Mallard.
Mr. Speaker, I would like to refer you to Clause 6 of the bill, and in particular Clause 6(1)(c), which makes it clear that the bill, the report, and we are waiting for a report in this particular matter, is to be made available on an internet site free of charge, and the internet site address. Well, that is the question. What happens if they are on Mega Upload and the address is a .com address? Does that count as being available or not available in the current circuit? And well, you could get a helicopter view, but I'm not sure, Mr. Speaker, whether that would help identify under 6(1)(c).
Order. Point of order. The Honourable John Banks.
I have to ask myself, why am I wasting my time in this Parliament?
Order.
When the parliamentary opposition won't...
Please, can I remind members on my left that when there's a point of order on the floor, there is no sound at all from any other member. Call the Honourable John Banks.
Mr. Chair.
Point of order, the Honourable Trevor Mallard.
No, point of order. No.
I'm calling for a point of order. Sorry. Point of order, the Honourable John Banks.
People at home that are interested in what's happening in this Parliament want to hear from people like the Green Party. The Green Party member at the back of the House has been seeking a call for a while, and they want to be able to hear his questions and give succinct answers. We don't want this howling and carping all the time.
Will be
this
seated.
Is the 29th
I'm on my
point
feet.
Of order.
The member will be
29th point of order.
I am in the chair, and I will recognise the member when I do. I call the Honourable Trevor Mallard. I call the Honourable Member Chris Hipkins.
Mr. Chairman, I want to raise 2 points of order with you. The first of which is that points of order are to do with order, and large explanations of what preambles to a point of order will generally lead to disorder. The second of which is the prerogative around who is recognised to speak is solely yours, and the minister, for the minister to be challenging your rulings or your selection of speakers is totally out of order.
Thank you. I've already ruled on that for the minister, and he's aware. I call the Honourable Trevor Mallard.
Mr. Chairman, I want to refer you again to Clause 6(1)(c) about internet addresses.
What does it say?
Mr. Speaker, what it says, a copy of the report is, and struck out or will be, available on an internet site free of charge and the internet site address. Mr. Chairman.
I call the Honourable Trevor Mallard.
Mr. Chairman, what I want to know is whether Mega Upload, a .com site, will be eligible for these purposes. And I would like the Minister's opinion on whether a .com site will be eligible for these purposes. And I want an assurance from the Minister that no previous consideration will be taken into account when that decision is made as to where this will be available and where the report will go. Mr Speaker, I would now like to refer you to Clause 10 of the bill, which goes to the question of access to information relevant to a safeguard investigation, and I just want to emphasise those words, safeguard investigation, because those are important and we will be coming back to that issue, and treatment of confidential information. And I want to ask whether when information is confidential, whether the Chief Executive, because that's the person who's mainly going to be dealing with it, says this is confidential, or does he say, I don't know and I've forgotten? What does the Chief Executive say when he has information that he does not want to get out because he thinks it would be disadvantageous to the country? Does he make it clear the reason? Is he fair? Is he democratic? Is he transparent? Or does he just say, I forgot and I can't remember? What is the standard we expect of our Chief Executive when dealing with this legislation, Mr Speaker? Do we expect someone to be transparent and honest? Or do we want them to say, I forgot, I can't remember, and then blame a lawyer for encouraging them to tell lies? Mr Speaker, it is wrong.
Point of order. Point of order. Point of order.
The point of order, the Honourable John Banks.
I know this bill inside out and back the front. I invite the member to refer very specifically to clause or parts of the bill so that I can then take a call and answer any intelligent question that he may pitch to me.
No, that is not a point of order. But I just ask the member to be careful in the way in which he is delivering his address to the House. Call the Honourable Trevor Mallard.
Mr Speaker, I will, notwithstanding the fact that you ruled out the Minister's point, refer him to Clause 10.1 and in particular 10.1a, which goes to the treatment of information, confidential information, which says all persons are entitled to access to all information relevant to a safeguard investigation except for A, confidential information, unless the submitter of the confidential information consents to the confidential information being made available. Well, what is clear is that in a number of cases, people who give information which the Chief Executive might prefer to keep confidential, or the recipient of the information, the people who have given that information would prefer it to be out there. Sky City, if they had any information in this area, I am certain would want to be transparent. I think Mr .com, with the information, if he had any in this trade area, he would want it to stay.
Point of order, the Honourable John Banks.
The government members responsible for this bill want to make progress tonight by having relevancy around the debate. There's no relevancy in this.
Order. That is not a point of order, and the Minister is misusing the point of order privilege. I call the Honourable Trevor Mallard.
Mr Speaker, I want to ask the Minister about differential pricing and dumping. And I want to ask the Minister if there is a product which is valued at, say, $3,600 for one, and someone gets 5 of them and a whole pile of food and pays $2,882, would that be regarded as dumping? Would that level of discount, when a product is valued at 3,600 New Zealand dollars,
would it be in the media?
And there is 5 of them, and I can't do the maths, maybe $18,000, is that right? 5 times 3,600, $18,000, and a pile of food, and the charge is only $2,882. I ask, Mr Speaker, whether that might be regarding as excessive discounting, and whether that practice would be regarded as dumping. And what would happen if someone who was involved in that approach spoke to a minister in order to get a special deal. Is there anything in this legislation, Mr. Chairman?
I call the honourable member Dr. Kennedy Graham.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I don't think it's in all our interests to